Wait, boy. If I didn't get to eat this roti today, I would have sure cried. Cry, boy? I's a big man, though. Men supposed to cry? I wonder if it's safe to cry in front of my woman. What women really looking for these days in a man? Are most women happily married or just happy to be married? Talk Heavy Podcast. Yes, and we are live once more. We're here again. Welcome, wherever you are viewing on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. All right, you're locked on to the Talk Heavy Podcast, where the vibes is light but the talk is heavy. All right, we're gonna have a nice chill vibes this evening. We're gonna have a decent conversation, very interesting. I want to say a special good evening to every one of you who are already on the live, whether on Facebook or on YouTube. I want to encourage you to share, comment with us, interact, keep the algorithm going, tag somebody there, because we're about to have a real decent conversation. So I have two brothers with me on the inside, co-hosting. All right. It's feeling like we was just here like a couple days ago, but Friday come and went, and we are here back on a wonderful Wednesday evening. Joining me today is my co-host, the next face of Talk Heavy Podcast, Mr. CEO, the visionary of Mended Studios, Randall Rodney. What's happening, bro?
Good evening, Jezreel. Justice Jonesy, as I see there, looking fresh, man. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody listening, wherever you are in the Caribbean, all over. I'm glad to be here this evening to join you on this wonderful podcast, an opportunity for us to have some really heavy talks.
Yep.
Yeah, and so yeah, I'm ready to dive into the conversation. I hope that we get some input that will really leave us with our mouth watering for more. Mm-hmm. Right? Particularly those of you with some good information as it relates to money. This is your kind of conversation to join into. Yeah.
And the conversation already started a little earlier too. Right? And joining Randall this evening to his side is no stranger to Mended Studios, no stranger to the social media or anything. The man say some of the most controversial things. That's why I'm real glad he's here right now, Mr. Ansel Bean. What's going on, Marriage Talk boss?
Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks for inviting me. I want to say congratulations, Jezreel.
Yeah, man.
And this is a special congratulations. I don't know how far I could go. If I try to go as far back as I've known Jezreel for some years well, but as it pertains to his desire as it pertains to his desire in media and stuff like that, this is one person I could safely say, you have a desire, you have a dream, go for it, accomplish it, because this was his desire. He kept at it. I remember getting demos, and he really desired this. Ooh. And now you actually have. I'm sure if I go back on my email, I could find that demo.
That was wow.
Yeah, and now you actually have your own show, bro. And I must say congratulations.
Yeah, man.
You're doing a very good job. So awesome, man.
Yeah. Really appreciate it. So, they jump into the conversation one time, right? So we're talking about in relationships or marriage, right? Money is usually a high criteria. The question is, for who? What are your thoughts? Rodney, who you think? Who really brings that criteria to the table? Who asks for that?
I think you're putting me in the hot seat, Justice, because I don't have information and the backing to go out on a limb, but I also have some examples though, that you'd hear a lot of women talk about money being very critical to their relationships, right? And because the finances speak of trajectory. You know, is this person going in a particular direction that I am willing to go? And so I can say this that I think women are looking at the financial part as the deal breaker or the deal maker. Right? And so I'm going very safe here because I believe that's exactly what they're looking for. They're looking for security, right? Yeah, that's my take on it.
But I find like that being one of the major prerequisites, it is kind of cloudy judgment in terms of choosing a partner, right? Because a man could have real money. You know for sure you're financially safe. He show one part of his character.
But what is security? What is financially safe? If these 2 years didn't teach us anything, it should teach us that lady who was out there and saying, listen to me, I want a man who making this, and I want a man who making... And a year into the pandemic, that man lost everything he wanted, because what we have learned is what is security, what is financial security right now. But he has to be Bill Gates. Then I can say, then you're talking security. But if it's a guy who has a nice job in the energy sector or something, we have seen what COVID has done.
Yeah. And while you say that, I am saying still they want to see that in tough times that this man can still show some grit where it comes to finances, because the responsibility now is one that you can squarely put on the woman's shoulder. So if she's looking for stability, she's looking for security, she's looking for a man that has an idea as to where he wants to be. She also like this opportunity will give,
but not dollars and cents. Not only dollars and cents. Don't look.
No, but dollars and cents
is part of it. But I like when you said show some sort of. That is what you should be looking for. A man who could stand up and do what he has to do.
That is why I was trying to get to.
Don't just look at dollars and cents. And I think a lot of our ladies right now, they look at that. You hear how much money he making?
No, I think you have to look at dollars and cents. Because
not that alone. No. And right now, the ladies, I am telling you, look at vex me. Majority of you all just look at dollars and cents.
No,
alone.
And I am saying, I agree that dollars and cents is a critical rule in this thing here.
Fine.
Right? And so she has to look, that's what she's measuring. She's measuring the figures, right?
Against what? So when is that? So when the dollars and cents will make sense? Like for how much? 5,000?
No, but you're presenting the woman as being unreasonable, and don't do that.
No. What I'm saying is, you are saying that dollars and cents is critical, and I am saying, if we're looking, my concern is you cannot look at dollars and cents alone, and you can't make that a major. It can't supersede the man's ability to stand up in a financial crisis. And I think a lot of times what takes precedence is the dollars and cents. And I'm saying, what is the marker for I? So ladies could comment and tell, what is a good marker for a man to be viable as it pertains to dollars and cents? We tell no marker, what, 5,000, 6,000?
And you're correct, there is no marker, but what we have is that she has to have a point of reference. So if you use the word very important, perhaps that might be a little more palatable, right? Very important is his earnings, right? Because that will help.
But what is very important? What does that mean? Is it that it's number 2 on the list of number 1 or 5 or 100?
I don't think I want to give it a number, but I want to say it's very important, so it's high on the agenda, right? Because
I don't know if it's as important as you're painting it to be, because a man could very much have real money, but he have a horrible character. Exactly.
They would take that character.
Or they would try to say, all right, he have money, I go try to change him. You understand? Maybe give him 2 years. Maybe his perspective on certain things in terms of values.
Understanding Pastor Randall.
You see when you start to call him. Don't call him Pastor Randall.
Take every person that asks for prayer.
No, but understanding Randall. Money makes the world go round. We understand money is very important. So I don't want to say.
That's what I'm saying.
It is highly important. Money is important,
because if you don't have the absence of money,
in the context of relationship, I am saying that we have to be careful that we make that of such high importance that we miss the idea that what has happened in the last 2 years, whereby a man has, you know how much, listen, before the pandemic, I will give one example. There was I'm not laughing at the young lady. I'm laughing at the fact that I really went and say this. No, nobody would know who the young lady is, and she wouldn't even know who she is. But there was a young lady that used to work in the energy sector, in the oil fields. And I don't know the young lady, but because of being on social media and radio and stuff, I had a lot of friends. So I would see her popping up and posting, but it was almost from the standpoint of she was single, from the standpoint of she has 2 children, single, 2 children. You know, like, I don't play with my boys for their birthdays.
Right,
Shock.
right.
Boy, watch me, that way before COVID. And it's almost every post was around and she would show she in the office. You had to see that Patricia and thing. And then, bro, you remember when they started to send home.
Right.
I mean, Kes shared it. That was around Kes and them time. Kes shared when they started to reach her. It was around that time. And her throat get bust. And she got so quiet. And that, for me, reminded me that then her confidence and the reason why she was vocal was because of her finances. Because if you being retrenched could immediately silence you. And that's why I'm saying, when we place such high priority on it, it's the same way when this guy lost his job now. All that love and that kiss up could just disappear.
And I agree with you to an extent, because the reason why we're gonna put money very high on the agenda is because if you get a very erratic spender in the context of marriage, in the context of relationship, Justice and Ansel, you have somebody who may not be money compatible to you. Right? And so therefore you can find yourself, by giving in to not paying attention to the financial aspect in this relationship, you end up being in ruin. You marry somebody and taking you into debt, running up your credit card, doing all these different things. Right?
Well then in that instance it would be a poor judge of the person's character.
And as it pertains to finances, as it pertains to the person's character and how they did, I respect that part. And I'm going back to say, my concern is the bottom line, this dollars and cents. There are ladies out there, that's how they measure. They want a man, he mustn't be making less than 20,000. And what I'm saying is the dollars and the cents
with your
is
statement.
my problem.
Can you quantify that?
Quantify what?
Can you quantify your statements? Do you have a percentage of women?
I never said that there's a 70%. I said I am very sure.
Yeah.
On this God's green earth, I could say here tonight that there are women who, as I'm sure if they pull the diary or whatever, no, and with the root
the list.
Yeah, he has to be making 80,000. He has to be this. He has to be that,
and so let's help them. Let's help them to come to a really good conclusion and move from that impoverished perspective. Because listen, I when I got married, I remember I had no money.
So she married you for love for sure. So she married you for love for sure.
Were you employed?
I was employed. I was employed, but I had no money.
Right.
And she had no money neither. Right. So we were money compatible. We had goals.
Okay.
We had
not goalish. They had goals.
We had an idea as to what we wanted our life to look like. We had ideas as to how education is going to come around with us and so on. How would we plan for upward mobility in our careers and those things, right? But I remember that largely I was depending on my mother's money. Listen to this. And the little pickings I had in the savings, I remember I threw it out there. I said, I have a little savings here in the unit trust. Right. I saving $1,500 a month. But I mean, I was not so straightforward with her, because when I told her $1,500 a month, I tell her, girl, I started saving since about 2 years back. But I didn't tell her what was happening with the account. So in her mind, he's saving $1,500 a month. And against 24 months, he should put some money there.
He was trying to save.
Yeah.
He was trying to save.
But I touch it, I have that. But for her, Jess, and I want to say good evening to you, sweetheart. Love you. Plenty, honey. she did not have money as the end all,
Right.
but she had finances as
She had financial management.
No, finances, his monies, what he's making as important. And to add to it, tell me if this is
She
not
had that as important.
As it-
Both of us used to work the same
bro.
at around that time. So if she had that as important, bro,
No.
you and I knew. That was barely cutting.
Bro, and trust me, that was the truth because it was barely cutting.
But she real nice.
But hear this. Here what was the real issue here.
Mm.
Her friends who at the time, I mean I didn't know them, so therefore at that point I could have seen them as antagonizers.
Right.
Right? But her friends wanted a particular caliber of individual. That so I was supposed to be somebody notable in society so that they could ascribe monies to who I am. You
Let me ask you a
understand?
question. What year was this?
It's 2007.
2007, right?
Yeah.
Around that time, it could be safe to say that women's expectations were a bit different from now, because now, present day, a lot of women place money as a higher priority. So basically, and especially back in those days, the culture was women look for a man who are financially stable, that level of security. So your wife took a risk on you because she had the foresight to see that, hey, this man was ambitious. Huh?
That's
You know how to say it. So.
Yeah, I find
That
he
she
get.
take
I
a
find he get
risk.
rude.
that she take a
I
risk.
was-
No,
I was-
no.
Did
Listen,
justice get
Yeah,
rude?
boy.
He
No,
said.
no, no.
He said my wife take a risk. You know.
that's what it is.
Ansel.
Yeah,
You gotta shut down the show.
Let me explain, right? Let me explain, because just as you just said, right?
Yeah.
Her friends, her peers around her, they were looking for a certain caliber man,
correct.
right? Let me read you.
So
You
she
in terms
risk-
of finances,
our friendship and how she risk.
you could say
that,
so.
yeah.
You could say so, and it could have turned out bad. You know, Randall could have hit financial issues or problems, and just probably give up. You see this? I give up, yes. But he had the tenacity to keep pressing, and that's what she would have had the foresight to see. And my question is, how popular is that mentality nowadays?
And that's a very good question, Jezreel. I am not certain. I think the ladies that are on the live, they can kind of shed some light because it's an important point to
I think
reason.
you had a shit.
And
Let me
I'm
let
not
me
part
read
of the Mendes family, so I just can't see the comments now.
let me read some of the
I see like one comment so far.
refresh your page.
No, I'm not part. I'm not part
Oh
of
no,
the Mendes
he
group.
trying
Don't
to
lock
say
me out. I'm an alien.
he trying to say organize the password.
all
for
these-
him.
look at
Just
all
give
these-
the password.
Look at all these comments here. If I open up my one person, I was like, but 20
Give me my phone, please.
but nobody
Thanks,
ain't talking.
Yeah. So Ronnie is saying good evening to you. Money is a high criteria for a marriage, not specifically for a relationship. For me, I have a bit of a pushback with that, because what's the difference between being in a relationship? Of course, you would have a the understanding that we working towards marriage.
Which it should be. And if
Yeah,
that's
it
the
should
case,
be.
But then if that's the case, you can't separate it two.
Exactly. That's why I
You
think.
can't separate it two.
I don't know. I don't know if other people.
So Ronnie, how you all decide to get married? You just watch a man, he rich, you marry him. No, you had to be in a relationship for some time, and that is where you would screen him.
That's the courting process.
Yeah.
That's all. But Ronnie can give us a call 4699112. All right, you can call us via WhatsApp or mobile. Electra Trinidad, I like that name, but she's saying finances are the leading cause of divorces.
Thank you very much, Electra. Boss of a
that's
point.
that's a very good point.
Well, I don't have any. I never did any research to make that
No,
conclusion.
that's a very strong statement, and
Yeah,
it's accurate because
there are studies that show that.
you see,
Really?
money.
Yeah.
You know what the Bible talks about that money answers
All things.
All
things.
things.
Yeah, that's you see in relationship. You don't finance your relationship. Your relationship is like a business. Yeah, you invest. You make some changes, but money in your relationship has caused the lack of thereof. It causes stress. She cannot function. She's angry. She's moody. She cannot plan, right? And that brings frustration. So a lot of people, if they end up in a relationship where money has to be the consistent issue, they can bypass everything else, you know. You could have all the love you want, you can have all the nice times, but if you constantly don't have, it can bring frustration that can lead to a divorce now. I don't want no part of it.
And fair enough. But again, when we talking dollars and cents, the man might be making good money. But the lifestyle. Because I always tell people will say, but you know they're making good money, you know, and them still have that car and whatever. Yeah, but they making good money, but the expenses is 3 times yours.
More money, more problems.
So even though, and that's why I keep saying the dollars and cents, even though the man he may be making good money because it was poorly managed by you, my dear.
Whoa,
not him. No, I'm just saying you can't. No, I'm just
reviews
saying.
And reviews.
This is a reality. This is a reality. A lot of women will fight the man and he can't take care of them. But when you really look at it, it's because he never challenged you based on your bad spending. He didn't want conflict. So you're like a runaway horse. But he don't want no bacchanal, so he just bring in money. But eventually, you want to run up. So you need to sit down in the midst of that and say, "What on there? You need to be able to sit down and say, you know what? I'm real sorry for putting you in this position. Let's work on. But you can't leave me, especially if you bring me here, though."
And for me, right, as you rightfully said,
we have a call in. Hello, good evening. Talk heavy.
Hello, good evening. This is Ronnie.
Hey.
What?
Hey, easy, Ronnie.
Yes, what's up, Ronnie?
Guys.
Talk to me.
Good evening, Ronnie. Blessings to you, man.
Same to you. I just wanted to clarify my statement, Uncle Ansel. What I was saying is I can definitely get in a relationship with someone who doesn't specifically has money right away. And we can definitely build on that. And once we are stable, then I would be more comfortable getting married that way.
Beautiful.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh.
More stable. What does that mean? When you get more stable?
Well, financially, once we build something together and we are able to stand on our 4 feet, then I'll be more comfortable rather than jumping into a marriage if we don't really have anything.
Right.
Perfect.
Fair enough.
I love that.
But let me ask this question, right? How long are you willing to wait for him to, find some kind of stability financially? Is she laughing?
Why you jangling Ronnie so?
No, because I want to know. Because some women would say that, all right, cool, but you're
she
willing
don't
to
need
wait.
to know at this point.
You're willing to wait 3 years?
I want to hear what she would say.
How long are you willing to wait?
So I was in a relationship where he didn't specifically have anything, right? A year had passed, and I was still willing to wait.
It was a year had passed and he still didn't specifically had anything?
He was working towards stuff, but at the same time, how to say this nicely, there was some deceit.
Oh,
come talk heavy. Come on, let me get it.
Yeah, I think I catching what Ronnie's saying because it's more than just a time frame, but you had to observe him during that time frame.
Yeah, and that's the thing here, Now I saw a comment there, but I don't want to go to it just yet. But just on this point, that time frame, it will vary amongst persons, as we know. But I think the decision-making factor is that she has to feel comfortable. Once she becomes comfortable with what she sees.
Yeah, but comfort is relative. But it has some women, they will feel comfortable only until they could go Dubai, Randall.
True.
It has some ladies, that's the
Are we not talking about Architect?
That's the only time they would feel comfortable. When they could go, they realize we reached this place.
Right.
And listen, this conversation are going wrong right now where people talking about how long you're working for the system and the system is doing that. Come make $1,000 in 2 days and whatever. Creating this kind of thing where there's a certain level we need to reach in order to call ourselves successful. So ladies using that same tool now to measure this man. And listen, ladies, let me tell you something. You see them other ladies on their workplace that's be cheating you up and telling you how, and commenting in a subtle way and say, well, weekend we supposed to go Hyatt and wherever. Don't take that shit now because you with your husband home, who you probably only the bedroom is your Hyatt, he don't beat you.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
like a social peer pressure. You know, you're
Yeah.
going to an environment and you're hearing everybody else talking about what's going on in their relationship.
But they only tell you the nice part.
Yeah, the only
Yeah,
telling,
yeah.
usually
Yeah.
that's where again you're gonna get the nice parts.
Let me
So-
let me touch some of the comments really quick. Safira Lamont, good evening to you. She's saying ambition is of utmost importance. Right? You may not be financially stable at one point, but working diligently with wise decision making can improve their financial status.
Move to the head of the
true.
class, Safira.
That's true.
Fire
She's
the
also
boss.
saying finances is a two-way street. The decision making, right? The decision making, the budgeting, the spending, etc. It's both parties' responsibility, I guess she's saying.
And
Alright.
that has a lot of merit in it.
And some people it works for them.
But
Different.
I want to lean to what
That's
to what Sapphire said.
That's not black and white. I don't know.
I want to throw something in the mix here. With the men with really good financial management as it pertains to relationship, stand up. And this is the reality here, you know, because you
'Cause
remember.
that's what I was thinking too, eh?
Yeah,
Because remember, women make up the greater percentage of consumerism. Right?
Yeah.
Women spend far much more money than men on material things
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah, and so against that, way you just said, Justice, you have now women having to harness a lot of responsibility in shaping the home with what is given to them.
Yep.
And that's what makes them really excellent too, because
Well, that's
True.
Well,
Okay.
women in general, yeah, because we have a lot.
Yeah. I agree that. And so finances again with the conversation with the topic that we're talking about in relationship, money remains high on the agenda.
Higher than ambition.
Higher than ambition. I am saying high on the agenda. I cannot put an order.
No,
you see, anytime I go down that road,
I don't telling me based on all that we discussed. that
Yeah,
you cannot make a clear cut statement here and say that ambition supersedes.
because we can't. If we do that, we shoot ourselves in the foot. Right?
How?
We-
Ambition forms
No.
them, in my opinion, because. All right. You know
I want to
what?
say
You know
something.
what?
Just now, allow me
Alright,
to say this.
okay, go ahead.
You have preschool, you have primary school,
Uh-huh.
you have secondary school, you have tertiary education.
Right.
Your relationship takes those stages. You understand? So you have the elementary.
No, but you don't want to
stages.
go to school.
Yeah, but no, listen. Yeah, but listen.
Yeah,
yes,
that's my point. You
yes,
don't
I'm
want to
saying.
go to school.
Here's what I'm saying. So in these stages, you have things that are very critical. So that's why in the elementary state of the relationship, right, the A and B and K and D, you need to know the foundation, right? So the foundation
Yeah, but you
of
have to go to school. You can't just watch
so
the
one of the
elementary
things
school
that
and
one of
not
the things
go.
that is important in the elementary stage is our financial standard.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, you have to, mommy. You remember the video where you say, "I don't want to go. I don't want to go."
Yeah.
He was clearly saying, "I don't want to go to school." You could tell me what
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Whether you force him to go or not.
A man could say,
So you just totally disregard my point?
yeah. A man could say, a man could say, "Here's what I really don't care what you're telling me. I will deal with stuff and I will get to a place when I'm good and ready." And that is like the person who's saying, "Ma, I'm not going to school."
Right.
So the school could be there. Everything that is necessary and needed to help you, if you attend the school, could be there. But if you don't go, so that's what I'm saying. I am saying, and Sapphira or Sapphira?
She
Yeah,
wants to
Sapphira.
call as a matter of fact.
Right.
So
Yeah, Safira, the number is 4699112. Can give us a call.
Ambition takes priority over
Yeah.
finances.
Not just ambition for me. I would say character as well.
Yeah. Control ambition.
we're
Yeah.
not, we're not
Yeah.
talking about
Because-
we're not talking about money here as the high criteria.
No,
because it's not.
I think because it's not.
It's not.
No,
because if money is the
it
high
is.
criteria, listen, you see all them fellas and who snatching
is.
chain in Port of Spain and the girlfriend making groceries every month.
Wow.
Is he not providing for her? And she has no
Wow.
life?
High criteria does not mean necessarily negative, and that's what you're doing there. You are putting high criteria. Money as a high criteria doesn't have to be negative.
But what I'm
It
saying
can-
is the ambition supersedes because he's unambitious, he's providing finances, and I can't accept that. But if he's
Okay.
ambitious, he would, because ambition does that. It will drive you to bring money. That is what we support.
Listen.
What you supporting right now is telling me once the woman get money, that is good enough.
No,
he is doing his job.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying that to be able to really give that sense of assurance as to where the relationship is going. Money has its place very high on the agenda.
But not higher than ambition.
No, I'm not saying.
I am
not saying.
I will go.
You trying to get done.
No, because you had to make it real clear, bro.
And I am making it very clear that we cannot at this point try to determine that which one is really
we can, but he just
we have a number of things that are in a category.
You don't want to
ambition is in the category, but I do not want to.
Ambition.
I do not want to say ambition is first. I'm saying it.
You want to bring it home? You want to bring it home?
You go ahead.
If your son were to come
to
you
gosh.
and tell you, Daddy,
the oldest one,
my wife not going to suffer. I going to make sure and take care of her. And you know what? I have an uncle, and I see that my auntie, she just make sure and put groceries, she just get clothes and whatever. You understand? You sell drugs, but
you see, this is why this conversation just end here, because he is using a negative connotation. He's using a negative situation. Bring it positive for me.
I'm going to bring it positive.
Why a negative so?
I'm going to bring it positive. So a brethren of yours comes to you and he says, bro, I got a job opportunity and I go in for it, making $1,000 more than I'm making right now, and I get it, and I go in for it, but it's high time wifey live, right? You understand? And he gets that job and he's taking care of wifey. You understand? Another job opportunity comes for him. But he's taking care of wifey. The other job opportunity, it may require a little harder work. But you're getting $2,000 more. And he says to you, I ain't taking Dana Bright fine right where I am right now. That taking care of wifey. That extra 2,000 because I had to get up earlier.
Right. She's being provided for.
She's being provided for.
So I'm not going to go and take that $2,000 extra because I have to get up earlier. How that song to you, boy? What you tell that man, boy? Your brethren, man.
No, but listen to this.
You wouldn't watch your brethren and say, brethren, want to you, boy?
No, but listen, no.
I would tell him that.
If he is meeting the need, why are you trying to rob him of his choice? He's making a choice.
And he's making a choice because he don't want to get up earlier. That's what I'm saying. And made it very clear that is what he's telling you.
But if the needs are being met, now this is where
greed is. That's not greed.
Just now. Listen, what about, I could come negative and say, listen, he go for the job, and when you see he go to take his maxi, right, he get bong song, right?
But he could be in the same job he and get bong song.
No, but what I'm saying, if he's comfortable with what he's earning, it is not.
I am not worried about him being comfortable. The reason is what I'm saying, his lack of ambition.
Jezreel, there's a comment from CJ, I want you to read it.
CJ. Yeah, Candice. She's asking, are we still on the for who question? Is money a high criteria for men? I don't know if it was that one. Was that one?
Yeah, when you're dating, somebody said that. When you're dating, you just study ambition. Laugh on.
You better start.
Hold up, and still, sometimes the men spend worse than the women.
Of course. I will never deny that. I have personal experience of men who you had to tie them down because it is overdo it. Especially you see the gadget fellas. Most of the gadget fellas just go down narrow. So I will not dispute that. What I'm saying is I have 2 girl children, so let me speak for myself. I will take an ambitious man. Of course, ambition is ambition. You can't be ambitious and don't want to work for 5 years. It's paradoxical. It can't work.
Yeah.
So you want ambition first?
Of course, that's what I need. Because if you're willing to just
ambitious men, if you're listening outside there,
don't try
to listen intently to what Ansel Bailey
is saying. Reverse psychology.
No.
Here we try to do.
So if we have a young fella there and a young fella and he's listening, I am saying to you, don't just bring money to my children. No.
Right.
Present yourself as an ambitious young man because money.
You are presenting money as though it is an enemy.
No. I am presenting money as though it is not the
I want the viewers to indicate to us, is Ansel presenting that the finances
Alright.
is like a bug, is like a virus. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling.
I want you to comment. And,
Yeah,
and see if that's-
I want to
that's
see.
the
I want to see what
Yeah.
they say. Guys, remember you can give us
I
a
wanna
call
see
as
that.
well.
I wanna
469.
see- So if that's
9112.
then I'll apologize for putting it across.
Yes, you need to put it better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I interested in finding out if they think if they get the idea too.
I love money. I love money. I love
No,
money.
well, I ain't getting that at all.
I love money.
No,
but I love
listen,
ambition more.
This is the first time in the show
No,
that you are speaking so clearly
I love-
about
I love
finances
money.
being on the top.
I love money,
All it is,
but I love ambition. It's like this. I love to be able to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I may not like to eat dashing bush for lunch. I love eating. I'm glad that I can eat. But I really don't. I will prefer not have dashing. That, what I'm saying is, money is there, no problem. But I will prefer have ambition. If you give me a chance, I'll present to you. Watch out, the next time this mic.
Yeah, the mic talking to you. The mic
I know
giving
you
you
a sign. That's sign. Guys, I want to touch on something though, right? It's when Ronnie came on, she gave her experience with being in a relationship with a guy who didn't really have anything, right? And some women, I think most women not really willing to do that. Present day especially, right? In Randall's instance, back in 2017, 2007, his wife.
Jersey making
like-
it sound like-
no. Relax. I mean,
sound like in
ancient.
real
I mean,
form.
I was in like Form 4 or something.
Form 4, eh? Yeah. I
Yeah.
just gonna do that.
But all I think women willing to take that risk now, and like if they are willing to, for how long? And if the women in the comment section who viewing as well could give us a call and let us know,
I don't know for how long, but I would love to speak to the women and tell them that is a popular thing right now, and I'm seeing too many ladies getting hurt because of that. In that
Chasing the money.
No, not chasing the money. You just being your potential spouse struggling, and you believe that you have to come to the rescue indefinitely. A lot of ladies dropping everything, and they would take the whole estate. They will empty out their bank account to take care of the man because the man going through or whatever. What I'm saying is, if that man
What's wrong with that?
is ambitious, then you can do that. But you see the laws and the leeches because they
He doesn't have to be. He does not have to be a
ambitious.
louse.
But he has to be ambitious.
He does. He has to be ambitious.
Alright.
I did not. I never said
So if
that.
you're
ambitious.
unambitious, what you would what? Listen, this is just me.
But
But I
guys,
mean no disrespect to anybody.
ambition is relative, Ambition is relative.
Explain.
Thanks.
Because
Well, both of
because,
you will explain that
because
to me.
ambition to me could be something different to you.
No, we're
Right?
talking-
And
we
all right,
keep
we're
it
talking
in
about
context,
women.
right?
We're talking
No,
about
because
women.
we-
Just now,
Relationship.
I'm very critical to the conversation. Letitia said she missed your question, so just ask it again so that we can get participation.
Just as how Randall's wife was willing to take that risk and engage the conversation, she saw something for the future with a man who wasn't really financially stable and whatnot. Are women nowadays willing to take that risk, right? And if they are willing to take the risk, for how long?
Could you read Letitia's comment, please?
I think he's prioritizing ambition. We always do that, and what?
Not highlight
And
money.
not highlight money. Like it's bad to want it for over ambition. It goes hand in hand. We get a
love that.
phone call here.
All right.
Love that. Letitia.
Let's take this call real quick. Hello, good evening. Talk heavy.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Sapphira here.
Hey, Sapphira, what's up?
Good evening. Welcome.
I am well. How are you guys?
Awesome.
You see what's going on with me, yeah?
Very good contribution, Sophia. Enjoying it.
Thank you. My thought is that we're looking at ambition and money as very linear. It's one or the other, and life doesn't work like that. It's not money or ambition. Because according to the comments, you could be very ambitious and have poor money management.
True,
Or
yeah.
you could have you have ambition and you're great at coming up with ideas, but the execution and implementation of it is poor.
Right.
So it has to be done in a correlation to each other.
Correct.
And what I'm speaking from my perspective, because I am a divorced person,
Yeah.
I would stop and not just look at ambition. I am going to look at your spending habits. I am going to look at how you would have progressed in the last 5 years. And hence the comment I made earlier, when you're younger, but this is from my perspective, and you're dating, we don't look at that. We don't ask hard questions. We ask basic questions. So where we going, which restaurant we going to? And we think that that's how life is going to continue after. We don't think about the families. We don't think about a home. We don't project. We don't forecast. So we don't say, okay, this is the person that I think I want to spend my life with.
Right.
What does the next 5 years look like? And can I live with this? Is there growth? Is there improvement? So we can't look at the two narratives separately. I think we need to look at them correlated. And wanting, and this is for answer, wanting of the finest things in life as a woman does not mean you're bad. Or doesn't mean that you have expensive taste or any of those
That's
things.
right.
I think we can't put singular narratives to it. I think we have to be wise. I may prefer to be a stay-at-home girl, and another chick might be preferred to do that. It might have a man, I might be dating a man that likes to go to the spa and everything, and I like home stuff. So to put one in a bracket, I think is very short-sighted. So that is my contribution.
All right, so let me clarify something.
Very beautiful conversation.
This great misunderstanding and misinterpretation are taking place. You all keep still holding on to the fact of what I'm saying. Dollars and cents is my issue. Money management, of course, takes high priority. I'm not saying no, that is important. What I am saying is the question came up about money. Is it a high criteria, not money management? If the question was asked if money management is then I would say ambition.
But
and
all that
money
falls under character.
Wait.
He can't get out of this.
No, of course. If I said, if you ask the question, if money management is of high criteria, I would say ambition and money management goes hand in hand. What I am saying is, don't just borderline it to dollars and cents. 15,000, he has to be making 10,000. Yeah, that is my point. Money management, of course, that takes precedence. But what the question is, in relationships or marriage, money is usually a high criteria, but for who? Not money management. And that's why I keep tackling the question. Money as in dollars and cents should not be priority. However, management, how a man manages or how he treats with his money, of course. So I think there's a mix-up between what I'm saying. Money.
So actually, you're asking about if money is greater in the purview of a woman or a man in choosing somebody.
Yeah, if money alone, just money. Because that's the question. I just dealing with the question. That's what they ask.
To be honest, I think there are men and women that choose money above it.
Correct.
So,
you're very correct.
Typically, if we're talking the majority, because the majority sets the standard, right? Let me be real.
I want to respond to.
Let me be real.
I want to respond.
We had to say it's women.
I want to respond to her, right? Because she said something very important that leads me towards saying this. Money at some point in your relationship will become an issue.
Yes.
Correct.
And if we do not have it and treat it with the respect that is due to it, we will find ourselves running away behind the wild fowl in the yard.
Okay.
And with an opportunity never to
how
catch
do
it.
how do we reach the issues, money issues in... Give me 2 examples as to why we may bounce up money issues in a home.
Money issues in a home, lack of management, and you also have a lack thereof.
Right. A lack thereof meaning he probably...
You don't have.
He probably lost his job.
You don't have. I don't know what's the circumstances,
Right.
but you don't have. And so that's why I'm saying, based on the point that Sophia made, she made a very important point. And it leads me to say this, that we have to prepare. This question here is so important. This is a heavy conversation. We're not prepared for it. And that's why Letitia could come out so boldly and say that, what she's saying here, right? We need to be bold when it comes to having this conversation and say, listen, it is high on the agenda.
Right, but not just dollars and cents. I will keep saying that.
Boy,
Let's talk about it in a holistic way.
Thank you very much, Sophia, for your contribution. I truly appreciate it.
Let's Cold water, we will finish more there.
Because let me just say this, right? We have a nice call coming in. Hello, good evening. Talk heavy.
Hi, good evening. This is Letitia.
Letitia, what's going on?
Good evening.
Hi. So I just had to call in, right? I listened to what Ansel said, and I agree with his point about money management. I see what he said there, and I get it. However, I know I'm going to be probably really different here, but money itself is a big thing for me. When I say big, it's not the only important thing, but it is on the scale of importance.
That's like how much money you're talking about, right?
Correct.
Like a quantity. You mean like a quantity?
Why you trying?
Yes, and
I wanna
because
clarify.
when I say so, it doesn't I don't have a figure in mind, right? But
Right. Okay.
at the same time, like I can't be grinding for what I want, what I need, and where I want to be, and then some plain Paul jump up and then leading me to a basic lifestyle because,
That's what.
Hold on. Wait. Because just now, because
Letitia, thank you.
she basically saying what answer.
That's all. Wait.
She is saying what I'm saying.
Based
She
on how
understands what I'm
Letitia is bringing it across differently,
How?
right? She's
No,
bringing it across.
you interpreting it differently.
Yeah,
That's how-
that's what I feel.
That's now.
That's what I
That's what
feel.
it is.
That's now.
Let me hear him.
No. I rest my case.
If I rest it, show it down there.
Here why I gonna rest my case. You know why? Because Letitia, I do not want to spoil Letitia's presentation of what she said. Now, had you said what you like Letitia, how she presented it,
I am
it
not
all-
Letitia.
And
But
this
we
is
said
why-
the same thing.
This is why we
So then
invited persons to come
you're
in.
discriminating
No.
the way I put it across.
No,
That is what,
no.
because it's the same message. It's just the messenger you hated.
Just now.
You hated on the messenger.
Don't
Letitia, no, she
Hating on the
articulated. She
messenger.
articulated herself well,
So I
and
can't
therefore,
articulate myself.
no, she still did not say order, right? Because you were.
All right,
you were
let me ask
aiming-
Letitia. She on the line. Letitia, let me ask you.
Ambition number one.
Let me ask you. Ambition
So like I
or
mentioned
money
in the-
management?
Let her
in
talk.
the- like I mentioned in the comments, it goes hand in hand because it
Yeah.
has
Wait,
some ambitiously
what?
broke people out there.
What goes hand in hand? Money as it pertains to figures and ambition, or money management and ambition?
I would say ambition and money management. But the product of that is money, which is important.
Alright, so
Right,
before you
but the
go now,
money-
Letitia, put on the spot here because I don't know if you're single and you're probably out there and hopefully you Mr. Right in here, right? But if you were to give if you were to give a figure, let's say what you think is right now where you at and the lifestyle that you would like to live, of course, which you have a right to. I can't dispute that. What could you give me a figure as to what you think a man now getting married to a man? How much you think he could make that would make you feel comfortable? You're not being greedy. This is a genuine question. That would make you feel comfortable.
That would make me feel comfortable.
Yeah, give me a figure.
I mean, I never really think about this.
All right,
but
I
would
want to say this.
say-
One more
Wait.
question.
Because-
Letitia, no, don't do Letitia. that.
because
Don't do Letitia that.
because
Two
money is
questions
not
are-
on top of
It's a
Letitia's
two-part-
priority.
don't-
No, what he's doing, let me tell you what he's doing.
No.
He is putting Letitia in a corner, and I don't like it.
I am
No.
not.
I
am not. Exactly.
Let go.
And Letitia and I, we are not arguing. Randall, you are arguing.
No, I don't
Letitia and
like it. I just say what I have to say.
So the next question, Letitia, is and there's the point is you took a while to answer the question, right?
Sophia said
But
the
if
real
I
one's
were
a figure.
if I were to jump out and say to you, right now with the state of life you are in, you're probably you're working hard, you're going to school, you're going to school. I don't know. A man comes to you now and he came to you and he's not up there, but when you really talk to him, you realize that he's not up there not because he can't be up there, but for all these years he probably just loafing and looking for the easiest job. Does he get a chance?
If he loafing and looking for the easiest job,
That's all he has been doing based on your conversation. You pick up a weight now. It's not like you didn't have money to study. It's not that you didn't have money to better yourself. It's just that you don't want to. Does he get a chance?
no.
You see how easy I answer that question? That is my point. Because ambition takes priority.
Wow!
Now I can rest my case. I can home.
No,
Yeah,
I see, right?
yeah. I see where it is.
I see it. But I will still go with ambition and money management goes hand in hand. So like for me, right, I am in a position where I am kind of the one who more or less dishes out the money then for the family. So I have seen and have experienced where money is needed to accomplish certain things.
That's right.
For for the household, as well as needing more to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
Which is why I said at the same, because I know people who are ambitious and every 2 days they starting up a new business. Like, what you
Why?
doing?
The wife.
Yeah, good point, Letitia.
So that's what I said. Ambition and what he mentioned with money management, ambition and money management goes hand in hand. But where I know I want to see myself, I, on one front, want to also be in a position where if it is Mr. Right, as you say, Mr. Right come along and we decide, okay, cool, yeah, this is it, this is the Lord's purpose, etc., we're going into marriage, I want to be able to put forth on the table. Like, I'm not just going to expect some man to just come and dish out everything. And then, too, I was not raised like that. And the society that we're living in, like, it's just not going to happen. And I kind of independent in a way. I want to... I want to be able to give, and he should also be able to give, and the amount that we give is important for where it is I want to see myself.
I think Letitia, you need a break too, in the sense of listening to you. No, listening to her, and I know a lot of women like this. Listening to how she said that right now she distributes the money or whatever. I mean, you're growing, you're getting older, and you have been doing this for some time. I mean, at some point in time, if you were to get into a relationship, oh gosh, to go into a relationship and you're doing the same thing you have been doing when you're supposed to have help. So you need a break. And Mr. Right, listen, Mr. Right will come. I am not no prophet. I ain't no prophet, and I ain't want to tell you coming next week or whatever.
Well, we don't know. We don't.
Mine not on Mr. Right.
Mr. Right, mine probably on you. Mr. Right, mine probably on you.
She not on Mr. Right.
Which was also why I paused, because I not studying what somebody can do for me. Right now I'm studying what I can do for myself. What I can do to build me.
Correct.
Ambition.
We thank so much for getting us calling in.
Ambition. Letitia, thank you.
You have a next call on the inside.
Y'all don't get. Y'all really are into this conversation, and it's a serious topic for me. I am saying that that even as I look at money issues in marriages, money issues in relationships, that this conversation is so much needed.
Yeah.
If you don't have this conversation.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness!
And it's okay to have the uncomfortable conversation in the courting stage.
Yeah. We have a call on the line. Hello, good evening. Talk heavy.
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name? Who's this?
Donna Lawrence.
Donna Lawrence.
Good evening, Donna.
All right.
Hi. Yes, I'm listening to the conversation, and yes, I am kind of on a balanced feel here. Money is important. Ambition is important. So to me, it has to be balanced, because you don't want to come across. I know we're looking at. Well, I'm a little dizzy. People calling in. I am presuming this is a little younger than where I am, but when you look at marriage, it's not only about money, and it's not only about ambition. What about love factor? There was something that drew you all together, and what about working together as opposed to it's about me or it's about you? So there are certain other discussions that comes along as opposed to just is a money issue or is an ambition issue. And so you have to look to me at the bigger picture. Then yes, money is important. Yes, ambition is important, but there is more. There is more to just looking at money only or looking at ambition only.
Donna, let me ask you a question, right? As you made that point, do you think that focusing on the money aspect, you're with the person, you are working towards something. Do you think that focusing on the money tends to infringe on the love and these other characteristics that you would have mentioned?
Yes, because so if you're only looking, you have something besides money draw you all together.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So now that you are in a marriage, it should not only be about whether the guy is making money or the woman is in a better position, and then we start to compare who spending out more and who not doing. It should always be a common value working towards the common goal, you know. And love must take precedence somewhere there, because we have to compromise with each other to know. Before we even got to the place of marriage, we must have some discussions about where we want to see ourselves, what we want to achieve in life, and all of that. Because look at the bigger picture. If suppose, okay, the person might start off having money, and then that was higher in the criteria, and as the marriage goes along, some unfortunate situation come up where you end up in a position where money is on the down low. Would you leave the person because of that? And say, well, you're no longer ambitious and I go on the way.
Right,
Yes,
but that tends to happen. That tends to happen when in the beginning stages, the person sees the money as the bigger criteria, or too much of a high criteria on the list, so that it basically gets merit to the point that we were making.
But Jezreel, as I listen to Donna speak, I am hearing that money, the presence of money, is also the presence of ambition. You get what I'm going?
Not
Not necessarily.
Because anytime you bring that argument, them the chain snatchers in tongue, then you validate them.
No, but it is because you're thinking of it from a negative perspective. But if he has monies, right? He has a job. A good job. He has.
Oh, he got the job.
No, but he has.
He didn't sit down home and he wanted to get a job.
Yes, no.
So he had ambition. And he was ambitious.
But I'm saying the presence of money
But
also says
it's a real
that
people with no ambition who have jobs and gain money.
Here the other spin you can put on that. Is it that I'm only going to get a job because I'm ambitious? We get a job whether we are ambitious or not, as to how much, what the job will bring. Whether we stay in a job, whether we stay in a low-paying job all our lives, or we work towards something with a little more. So getting a job.
Any man who gets a job and he's not ambitious and he gets a job, he's running away from his wife. He just don't want to be home. Because ambition is what drives you to get a job. Ambition is what drives you to get a job. Anytime a man unambitious and he just get a job, so what drives him to get a job?
No, well, there are natural things that goes along with our societal norms. Yeah. It's normal for people to know as a man you have to get a job.
That is ambition.
If you want to go into a marriage, you're not going to go into a marriage with a man who doesn't at least have a job.
So which is ambition.
You're talking about whether the job is high paying or low paying.
But that is an ambitious move that he decided to not fall victim to the stereotype that man worthless or whatever. So I am ambitious, I'll go and get a job. I am saying an unambitious man could never go and look for. If I find an unambitious man looking for, he running from somewhere.
And that has merit.
Donna, we thank you so much.
Donna,
thank you so much for calling in and interacting with us. We hope you stay on, right?
Thank you.
Awesome.
On a serious note, somebody calling? I want to throw in this.
Let me just stick up in right there real quick because we have a ad to run, right? You have that lined up, director? Yeah.
Our seafood boils are packed, made with our signature Cajun butter sauce, corn, eggs, and potatoes. Try the regular with shrimp and local crab for $100, deluxe for $250, and our new and improved Supreme Box for $400. Available until the end of April.
Yes, guys, and the gifted hands. Bless your hair with the right hands. All right, the right hands are gifted hands with professional and experienced care in braiding, lock, treatment, and much more. Watch your hair turn into art that you would have envisioned, right? Contact Gifted Hands at 354-2105 or on social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. All right. Yeah, so I really like where the conversation going, guys.
So I was going to say, what I was going to say on a serious note, even though you guys did not have the conversation during courtship, being married is not too late. Meaning that, not because you miss the opportunity to really talk finances with your future spouse, during courtship, you still have the opportunity now to stop right now, tomorrow, and say, you know what? We never really had this conversation. And because we listened tonight, I think it's important. So tomorrow you could go and start that conversation. The conversation is important and it's necessary.
Or even if you're in a relationship with somebody, or in the talking stages even.
And then you're planning too. You're planning about your life, how things going to work out, where you want to be. Is this person on the same page with me? And if you see differences, it doesn't mean separation. Differences really just mean an opportunity to see where we can look for those areas that we can match and be compatible and work together, right? Because a lot of women today, they are education driven. Let me tell you, more than men. I can say that without even self-doing.
Yeah, the statistics show that the populations in universities, even locally and internationally, women make up the greater proportion in terms of numbers.
And with that being said, men, hear this, men will have a hard time being able to try and run the, I don't want to say the word, but this is talk heavy.
Run the household?
No. Run the stupidness that they run to or dish out for women. Because women now have they have the position, they have the money, they're coming with worth and substance. And as I heard our sister say sometime, you can't come with a woman as a man now lacking substance and feel you could just tell her you look nice, you're looking good, you have a smooth talk, and she just run away with that. You're not gonna get you just so.
I have some women with that mentality, they're just problematic.
Exactly, that's one side.
See, anytime you start to talk about handling me and thing, one time you are a problem. I saw a memory today that I posted last year, and I just purposefully didn't post it today. And the memory was, ladies, I don't know who this is for, but some of you are not single because you are intimidating or you're too strong. You are single because you're hard to deal with.
Wait, I see that in my memories because I commented on it or something.
Ouch.
We have a caller on the line, right? Hello, good evening, Talk Heavy.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Like Ronnie again.
No,
this is CJ.
CJ.
What's going on?
I'm good. So,
She come for you one time.
See when you call me, so
yeah.
No. I listened to what you're saying, and after some of the after the explanation I give, I want to say that money is high on the list because I personally
is it higher than ambition?
Most of these.
See what I tell you?
Yes.
See what I tell you?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So. Let me just explain myself. I want to know, and I think most women, especially if you're getting into marriage or you're looking that direction, it comes down to the balance. Tell me what is the balance in your account. I will tell you what is the balance in my account, and let's see how we could move forward from there.
This is before marriage?
Before, yes?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Wait.
Listen. I just asked. Calm down.
Hold on. This is before marriage,
right?
While we in a relationship.
Yeah, we in a relationship.
Or we courting and talking and that type of thing.
All right. The perspective I'm coming from is if we're talking about getting married.
Right.
So we together.
Yeah.
Here's my girlfriend.
Together.
Well, of course.
No, she's not talking about that.
Don't try to say what she exactly.
Right. Okay.
Trying to say what the girl
yeah. See how he is.
We moving together toward marriage.
Fair enough.
Right. That's the plan. Going toward marriage. We probably in counseling all of that already. I want to find out. Okay, what we working with.
Yeah. Correct.
You want to know how much money I have in my account?
The dollars and cents. Yes.
Yeah, but
yeah.
How I don't know when I tell you that you're not going to pursue the marriage further because I have 100,000 or $1 million.
No. You could pursue.
How I know?
No problem.
I
don't have a problem with that. But
listen to what I'm saying, right? Listen to what I'm saying. How I know? If I tell you, girl, I only have 5,000 in my account right now, you gonna make up some excuse to end the relationship.
Of course,
not necessarily.
Just the smell stink.
No, not necessarily. Relationship with the person for some time, just really learning the person. You must pick up the
brother.
What I want to ask CJ.
Yes, until.
Yeah, so it's not like if the woman go there, you must pick up so unless you're
Brother.
real
Yeah,
long.
you know the vibes already.
But
You
what
know
I
the
want
vibes
what I want to
already, and
ask
she not
is,
pay your money.
CJ, I'm fair enough. You are questioning the dollars and cents, which makes sense. You know, question it. But if within there the dollars and cents low, but you realize that it is low because he has been studying for the past 5 years, so most of his money is going towards studies.
Education.
Does the dollars and cents really matter?
No, at that point, no. But that's why the question must be asked.
That's right.
Because if it's
No,
like
I respect that. I understand.
Yeah, you pursuing education, and let's say you have $500. You got $500 in your bank account, but you're pursuing your education and you have a plan, you have ambition, as you were trained around all the way. Okay, cool. With my bank account and your bank account together, let us see what we could do together. We probably can't have the big wedding. We probably had it right for a while. But let's work it
I
out.
gotta pray for COVID to come back around again.
Right.
No. Hear this
If
question
it's-
now.
Just
Yeah, what-
finish-
yeah, I wanna ask
let
you.
her finish the
All right,
she's
go
saying
ahead.
something.
No, go ahead. You ask.
Right. So, what if the guy has big money, 100,000, but over time you're discussing and you realize he's not employed, but he just inherited that because his father died, and now he has a nice, but he only could marry 20 times, and still start at least build the foundation in the house. But you only realize that he got this money because some aunt or somebody died and they gave it to him. He's not employed. He has not been employed for the past 2 years. How would you feel? The money is there. Yes.
Yeah, but the money wouldn't last.
Thank you very much.
It
Thank you
wouldn't
very
last.
The money wouldn't
That is
last.
why I
No,
put
the money
ambition
wouldn't last.
over money any
Right.
day, any
Right.
time.
I am saying, CJ, that you are asking the pertinent questions.
And I am not saying that she's not.
And and those questions are necessary to help stabilize your mind as a woman and in terms of who you're treating with as that man. Because you could, if you don't ask the questions, then when you bounce up the issues later on,
might be too
right?
late.
It will be exactly. It's going to be too late.
I think it goes both ways. It goes both ways because if I ask any questions, I can't be bold-faced to ask question what you have in your bank account and not be willing to see what I have in my bank account.
CJ.
Or not be willing
All your
to say.
account.
CJ, just give us a little scenario. How would you ask him? Just give us a little scenario. Give us how you're going to ask him. Just right now. You're in the
I'm
space.
going to tell you the real-life example. We sat down and we want to get married. This is the date that we want to get married by. What does our current living expenses look like? I break down my current living expenses. You break down your current living expenses. You could afford yours. I could afford mine. If we come together, what we have in surplus. And that was the dollars and cents conversation that we had. How much we're going to put away. How much we're going to use to live.
Was it uncomfortable?
Before,
Was it an
No.
uncomfortable conversation?
no, it wasn't uncomfortable because by the time we having that conversation, we know each other already.
And then if you know,
We already have it.
if you know CJ,
Yeah,
you know
we-
CJ in play. So
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
CJ ain't come here to play.
Yeah.
She ain't come-
Yeah, wife material ask hard questions. That's right, Joanna.
Yeah.
it wasn't about, even if he had said, no, I do have this, the question following that would have been, okay, well, how are we going to get that? Because if your plans are XYZ and if my plans are XYZ and we're planning to do these things together, how are we going to get there together?
Yeah.
You helping
That's
him?
when you will kind of get to see, okay, well, where your ambition is. Because people could talk ambition and no one.
I have one more.
Could really not be there.
I have one more question for you, CJ, because you
Go
seem
ahead.
to be leading the way with as representing women tonight. What would you say to women who want to have that conversation but is finding some difficulty in having the conversation?
First and foremost, I don't think that the women should bring up this conversation. I think that this is a conversation that a man who intends on leading a family or a woman should bring up. But just in case it didn't come up, before you start to study, you kind of make observations at first. And a good way to bring up the conversation would be, how are we going to do life together? Doing life requires money.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. It requires some plan how are we going to save, especially if you put children in the mix, if you want education, if you want to have a nice vehicle, if you want to pay a rent or a mortgage, how are we going to do that? Nobody want to stay where they at
Well said.
all the time.
Well said.
You married
thanks.
at 20, 25, you married at 30. In 5 years, you don't want to be there. In 10 years, you don't want to be there. So
Right.
it has to have a plan moving forward. How are we going to do this together? And that's kind of why I was kind of fighting, like, what are you saying? Women. I was like, no. The men have to get into this too. Sometimes the men have to tighten the belt a little bit. Sometimes the women have to tighten our belts a little bit, because at the end of the day, it's not the man taking care of the woman or the woman taking care of the man. It's both of us, all money coming together to figure this thing out.
Fair enough.
That's,
Fair enough.
that's my contribution.
So if you go back to the question, could I give my answer? I don't know if I give my answer. The answer is, when it comes to in relationships, if money is usually a high criteria, and the question is for who, is usually for women. Men don't typically men don't try to make that a problem.
Yeah, agreed.
Typically, and I agree with you, typically, yes, it's more important for women because, as Jesu correctly said, we are the bigger consumers.
Yeah.
Just
We gotta
A man
continue.
would put on his
and
money
too much.
and he will say what he paying for, but we would see every other thing to pay for.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thanks.
calling, Candy.
You're welcome.
Have a
You're
great
welcome.
evening.
Good
Shout
night.
out to the Spooners. Hey, I see in Joanna Olatunji. She said, hey, that's my sister. She's also saying, communicate. Retrenchment and illness could happen to the most ambitious or financially stable. When dating, talk to see if there is any readiness to face the rest of life together. Come what may. All right.
Very good.
Yeah. Talk. Very much talk, and talk heavy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris,
It's
that
okay,
is
we-
always we usually bring that up on the show. You know, uncomfortable conversations. There are some
Yeah.
conversations you have to have that very uncomfortable. That
Yeah.
may, but better have it.
But it will
before.
shape the relationship in the way it needs to go, because sometimes shying away from having those conversations, like for instance my wife, when I remember the erratic spender in the relationship was me. Everything I
Serious?
saw everything I saw online, all right, I would just take my credit card and punch in, and she's the one crunching the figures. And when she's realizing that, listen, the money's not adding up, is because she's seeing boxes coming in. She's seeing
But Rodney, let me ask a question, right? Those items you were buying, were they for your personal
Yeah.
recreational use?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
in some way it end up being used in the house?
Nah, it was just for me.
Just for you?
Yeah, and here what started happen, right? Let me tell you. You think God is easy?
It was just
Yeah,
for us.
God silenced me, right? And I used to do it without telling her. So I'd spend the money on with the credit card, buy these different
Boss,
things.
you were terrible.
No, listen. No, I'm telling you.
No,
And that's
because it's $1,500. You swing the woman, so when you $1,500 talk now.
And listen, so when I buy this stuff now on Amazon and thing, and I get it now, she started crunchy figures, it's not adding up. And she says, you keep doing this, you keep spending this money, we don't have the money, and you're putting us in debt. And you know what's happened? I don't know if she started to pray, but every time I bought something, I didn't listen to her. Every time I'm young, you understand? And I didn't listen to her, and when I started to buy stuff now, customs start to bond the items. When the items come, something wrong with it. It ain't working. when the items come, it's the wrong thing. And she used to be laughing. Good night, honey, if you're watching. She used to be laughing at me. She said, look at you. You don't want to listen, but you will finally come to yourself, and you'll come to yourself. And I had to now say, boy, Randy, you have to stop that.
Sheila, you know, it's
You have to
the
stop
same.
that. Because, listen, I started to get frustrated and all when you see some of this stuff coming and saying, this is not what I want, I waste this money, this and that. And I had to stop. I put away the credit card. I said, honey, I'm going to top back up the credit card thing. I made some commitments, some promises, you understand? And I can say today that I am a safer spender. In some regard, not all regards.
Amen.
Ladies, you could learn something from her.
Yeah.
But guys, we coming close to the end of the show this evening, but we have a couple of clips to run, right? basically the same type of conversation from the perspective
start
of
that next show,
a
yeah.
group of women,
You gonna start
right?
that next
The
show.
source is from a YouTube channel, Clever Girl Finance podcast, right? They run the clip with the single girl first. Yeah, this is us.
I'm not married yet, but this conversation makes me think about, okay, how am I going to approach this with my spouse? And I think that I would like to keep things separate, just because like I've worked for mine and he's worked for his. But we will have like a pool of money where, you know, for big purchases like a home or a car. Yeah, I'm just thinking a lot about it, so I can go in and talk about it and not just go in and not have a conversation, because then I feel like that's when, you know, the fights and the disagreements will start. And
Right. You don't want to assume what he's thinking, right?
Right. So it's like this, before we even like sign those papers, it's like, okay, let's have a talk about money. And if I wanted to do something on my own, I can, and there's no like restrictions.
Yeah, so we're talking in a marriage here, right? There's the dynamic now. So what she's saying, what she wants to have for the future is her money separate, his money separate, but they would have a joint account, perhaps, you know, to take care of matters within the home and whatnot. What do you think about that formula?
Well, before, could we go back to the clip? Is that possible?
Yeah,
And go
run
back
it
to
back?
not the whole thing. There's just
The ending?
probably halfway through.
All right.
Somewhere around there, there's something that she said, and that is my concern.
I'm not married yet, but this conversation makes me think about, okay, how am I going to approach this? I can go in and talk about it and not have like a pool of money. Makes me think about, okay, how am I going to approach this with my spouse? And I think that I would like to keep things separate, just because like I've worked for mine and he's worked for his. But we will have like a pool of money where, you know, for big.
And
Right.
that plan, but the reasoning, you see the reasoning?
I've worked for
That
Mine
time a
and he's
little uncomfortable. But if
Why is it that?
Because if we're going into a marriage and that is your mindset. Now, if you told me that, you know, I want to be able to have a little freedom in spending, you know, and then he
Right.
could have his, I understand. But when you make the statement that I've worked for mine and he has worked for his, I don't think you truly grasp marriage. The word marriage in itself, the definition, that intertwining, I think, no, there are couples that it works very well like that, and I have no problem with that. But I think my concern is the intent. But it sounds as though the reason she wants to do this is because I feel like if I working for my money and he's working for his, and we have the right, you understand? I could understand if you tell me that you have a portion of your money that you could spend. You understand? You want to have that freedom. But don't tell me the reason you're doing it is because I feel like if I work for mine, and somehow it has me a little.
Well, I don't want to jump to a conclusion yet, because she could explain herself even more, because she's throwing that out, and I want to agree to answer that she may have a kind of myopic view of marriage, right? But what is critical here, she also gave entrance to collaborating
Right.
with the finances and so on.
And she's willing to talk about it.
And the
That
truth
she said
is,
that she's willing to talk to him about it. So
Yeah.
it's not like if she just going into it by herself.
yeah, and then she says that she's working for her money, he's working for it, and that's the truth, you know, because remember, you working for your money,
And she's working.
and she's working for that's the reality.
But when your money done, like when her money, no, seriously. So when your money, like her, when her money finishes for whatever
they
reason,
go in the pool.
do we go into the pool? But the pool was
Yeah.
for the house,
No, you go into the pool. She will have consultation with him,
and the pool.
And
So
then-
the pool is for if any one of our money is finished.
well, the pool is there though, because she
No, she said the pool is for to like if you want to build a house and whatever.
well, she had explained some more, but right, but
Because I just find like in a case like that, if it is you're saying my
She said
money
it
and
herself.
your money, I'm just saying that
Where
when
is she
your
at?
money done,
let me tell you this. Is she setting herself up for some disappointment? I believe yes. Yes, because let me tell you why. There will come a time when what you work for will be needed for the other spouse, or something that the other person may need. Perhaps medical. Perhaps medical. Perhaps there is something urgent needed for the home that she didn't have as priority. And he would come to her. So that's where she would set herself up, because when she started to work for my money, and she had in her mind, I go and do a bedroom makeover. You understand, Montana? And he can't tell me nothing more that.
Because it's my money.
Because it's my money. That's where she's setting herself up now.
Because when you come to me, I would ask you, where's your money?
but I'm thinking,
where's
right?
your money?
I'm thinking, right? Could you still have your separate accounts? But this is somebody you're married to. You would have established a relationship and a trust, a level of trust, right? You should be able to trust that even though your account separate from mine, right, and we have a joint account, if I fall under hard times, I should be able to trust that you would assist me or step up and well,
do
it's certain
marriage.
things.
That's what
But
it is.
exactly.
But
I think it's
what
separate.
is the way. My problem is because
the way.
that works, Listen, Jezreel, for plenty couples that works. Some couples it works whereby they everybody just bring the money and we pay all the bills and we live happy. Some couples it works where you pay this, I pay that. It works well. So I understand that, but my concern, as I said from the very beginning, I kind of worried about when you say, I find like if this is my money and I should be able to do stuff, it just, according to Randall, you're setting yourself up, because again, if you run low and then you say, babe, I need a new shoe, I will ask you,
where your money?
Where is your money?
And Ansel, that's our perspective, but I believe there's some women here that might be able to even shed some light based on the woman response.
What's the date on that video?
Because
I'm not sure.
She is speaking there, and ladies, help us out here, because you may know and understand what she's trying to say. Is it from a selfish place that she is making this statement that she's really thinking about I? Right, and that really and truly nothing else is in that picture, but she's thinking about herself. Just help us a little bit with that, because I don't want to just say that
she being selfish
outright. And then the ladies have...
What the ladies say?
Yeah, no.
That's what I want to know.
You don't want to say.
No, but the woman will have a better grasp as to what, because they saw the video and they would be able to...
you're sure that's the one the ladies to say what you want to say, but you don't want to say it.
Listen now. You see this answer?
Mind games right too.
Listen now. Answer Bin.
I find it might come better from a lady.
Yeah.
But the reason why I asked what date it is, because I would love to know if she's married now and how she's doing. And if she has her money.
But in the meantime, let me run the second clip. Yeah.
So, for me, I've been married almost 10 years now. And when I first got married, I think our finances have evolved just due to just life. But when I first got married, I had this whole idea similar to you. And my idea was that, I already have my own money. And so I'm going to keep my finances separate. And because he was still in school, and while you work on getting our money, I'm still going to keep my finances separate. And my husband is very, I would say I'm the money manager in the house.
They would start accumulating our money. And when he's not working, my money is my money. Right?
And she keeping it separate.
Yeah. Even after this, they get married and everything. My money is my money. And your money is our money. What do you think about that? And the viewers, I would like to hear your perspective on that in particular, because you hear that all the time.
You realize everybody laugh because they're trying to make it sound like if she's making a joke.
Right, yeah.
But she's not.
Yeah,
and
she's
most
serious.
of the times you have that conversation, you hear that conversation in public, they try to laugh it off. But a lot of ladies, that's the mindset. And if that is the mindset, I would love for somebody to explain what is meant by our money. Does it mean that I have been established as a person who could manage money better in the home?
Right.
So they bring the money to me, and then I would organize, because you have to bring it here it's like a department. This is the department this is the accounting department. So
Minister of Finance.
Money, right? Or does it mean that because I'm a woman and he's the man, I can choose to work? I chose to work. But even if I wasn't working, he still had to mind me. So whether I work or not, his job is still to mind me. I wonder if that's if that is the angle, then you understand. I don't know. Happy for the guy, whoever chose her.
Again, I am here in trouble. I am here in trouble.
And you know, they probably living very happy.
Well, you see, and that's a reality.
Like real happy.
That's a reality because he
Probably
can
again,
agree
let's
to that,
see.
you know. There are men who will agree to that. There's no resistance. They will go along, fine, no problem.
Agree to what? The statement?
She said the monies will be separate. She said that, listen, he's going out to work for our money. You understand?
Yeah, and he would agree
He
to
could
that?
be nonchalant. He could really never, you know, there are some
Yeah,
men
it's a man
who don't
taking
really,
that.
No, it's the diplomacy. Is the diplomacy. He's what?
He don't really business.
No, what you just said?
What is that?
He's nonchalant. You say it.
Yeah, he's nonchalant.
Yeah, you're diplomatic. He's a muck.
Listen.
He's a
Talk
muck.
heavy, boy. Talk
He's a
heavy.
muck.
Talk heavy.
But
talk
because
heavy.
naturally you are a very diplomatic person.
Yeah. So when we look at this situation, it is one that is a cause for concern because in marital counseling, if that comes up, right, you would want to see between the couple that where do they find common ground, right? Because if it is the husband is not signing up for that, and I wish that that is something that came out in counseling, because a lot of the times in counseling, these are the hard stuff that
Like
sometimes
if he disagrees with something like that.
Yeah, these are the hard stuff, boy.
But they're married, because then she said they're married. 10 years or
Yeah,
something.
she said
didn't
she
say
married.
happily. She didn't say happily married.
But they're married 10
and-
years.
and
But
that
but
is
10 years. So what happened to him? He ugly?
no.
So what?
Where you get
No, what I'm
So
saying
we-
is because you are saying that he's not married. He's not. He may not be happily married, or is it that he's probably a believer and he don't want to promote the whole divorce thing?
You see, this is just a taste
Because he has
of,
to be
of
happily
what is
married.
happening there. We don't have the whole
For
picture
10 years.
But what I'm saying, for 10 years being married, there is some level of acceptance. I could but just say
To that boy?
Yeah,
To that statement?
10 years.
Yeah, well,
but
just
you
as
see,
you say, Ansel, he a weak man. He's
a mux.
Yeah.
yeah?
But that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
I find that's, to me, when I hear women say that, I find that's a form of, it sounds like bullying, but
Yes, and what I'm saying is they
That's not
try to
bullying.
do it.
you serious?
Nah, that's not
That is not bullying.
Nah, I
Give
wouldn't-
me your money in order to be married with me, and I would keep my money.
No, that's not bullying. That is arrogance. I would look at it from as an arrogant point of
But
view.
that's what bullies do.
Yeah.
That's what arrogant people do. Sorry,
Yeah.
They are
bully
bullies.
you.
arrogant
Because they-
people are bullies.
Because they
I
don't
get the definition of a
pull it up,
bully, yeah.
pull it up.
Of a
Because
bully?
they don't
Bully,
care.
yeah.
They don't care about what you had to say. Give
my
me this.
thing is that the way they just try to laugh it off and make it look like they're trying to make jokes.
Yeah,
Is she
boy.
very serious there now?
Yeah, Letitia is saying that's a quote unquote societal joke that we need to be a little more serious about.
Yep. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Letitia. That's why Mr. Right or wrong the corner.
So bully said it says seek to harm,
Talking to Mike.
seek to harm, intimidate, or coerce someone perceived as vulnerable.
Wow, it's almost given me abuse.
Yeah.
Abusive, kind of, you know.
So
Because
as
imagine if the roles were reversed and
Oh God, no, then that's
Ansel-
financial abuse.
imagine Ansel jump on here and say,
Yeah.
hey, Carissa have
Boy,
to
that
give
is
me
it.
her money.
Yeah, that is it. Marriage shut down.
I like the Merriam-Webster definitions: abuse and mistreatment of someone vulnerable by someone stronger, more powerful, and so the actions and behavior.
I don't believe it is be somebody who's strong and more powerful.
Well, this is
It could be, you know.
Merriam-Webster. You go and
It could
quarrel
be.
with Merriam.
She must.
Go and quarrel
Because
with Merriam.
remember, there are
because
some
this
men. There are some men who are timid. They're not assertive. Well, monks, you understand?
Yeah, this-
and then there are some women who are a lot more
How
masculine.
much definition?
Yeah.
you
One
find on
more,
next
one more. Hear this.
definition?
Prone to, say Miriam, prone to or characterized by overbearing mistreatment. Hear this, that word, overbearing mistreatment and domination of others.
Wow. I find it sounds like that. If there are any women on the chat who disagree with me, if you want to give us a call, 4699.
What's the name of that program?
Claire Girl Finance Podcast.
Claire Girl
Finance.
Okay.
Yeah, you go and look for it.
No, you want to challenge my piece? I'm not going on.
I should not even call on him so much because you getting them free PR.
No, but we use the content. We use the content.
Well, yeah, fair usage, you know.
But
alright.
it's just that I don't want to stray from the topic, but we have to be really careful with the social media and the games that have certain sectors play with bringing up certain conversations that they can't say for themselves. So they you understand? I'm just saying.
As tough as this conversation is, money is usually a high criteria in relationship.
For who?
And I want to leave out the
for who?
Just
no, but
wait. I just understand. Listen,
all right. Closing statements. But we answering the question.
Yeah,
money is a usual.
If you're not planning to answer the question,
are you
can't give an open-ended response. Eh?
Listen,
Randall, we sat here as brethren. We had a conversation. The question is,
so
answer the whole.
So, woman, right? And now the question is.
So money is
usually a high. Money is usually a high criteria, and definitely, all joke aside, usually the woman will pay attention to this. Right? It's a high criteria. And those of you that support that, you're right. You're bang on. That's correct because the women are really the ones. Mostly women are the ones to propel that. Money is a high criteria.
I would give the pushback on that. I would agree that for women it's more so the highest criteria.
Don't say highest.
Well, high criteria for them, right? More than men because women tend to date up. If you understand what I'm saying, they tend to look for a woman, even in physical attributes, a woman who's taller than her, of a particular physical build. Right, and so it's no different from money,
bro. Let me tell
you,
they
look for financial stability, but to me, I don't think that should be high on the list.
Read Proverbs 31. That woman is a businesswoman, and money is high on the agenda because the Bible talk about her going out in the marketplace. And listen, she's a strategic woman.
She's very ambitious.
And
because she's not home. She's not home.
You come good.
Yeah.
You come good.
Yeah.
She is very ambitious.
But it says, how does she accumulate the finances? She works. She goes out. Yeah. She don't sit down and wait and say, this man have to be make a certain amount of money.
Yeah, but she's not working for thanks either. She's working
right.
You see that Proverbs 31? Listen, if you get some time to just dive down inside of that in your personal time, that's a remarkable woman, you know. You understand? And it shows you the strength of women. Don't underestimate women, brother. You understand?
Start pastor.
Are we making sense?
Yeah. Ansel?
Well, yeah. As I said before, I think ladies don't play with that. It's a big deal. I don't think I want to end with us not acknowledging that Sapphire posted $12,000 to $15,000 a month. So I think for a lot of ladies, that's the kind of figures is big money. Men will tend to not lean too much on it. I think generally, going out on a limb here, I think generally it's easier for a guy to settle with a woman than a woman to settle with a man, because there are certain things, simple, bram thing, whatever, I bless God for you, whatever thing. And for the ladies, the list, the checkbox now already. I think they're very critical when it comes to getting a man.
So look at the time, it's just about 8:34 in Trinidad and Tobago. This was a really good, interesting conversation. I feel like I think we might have a part 2 to this.
You really want to do that, boy?
Yeah, but
I think you have to get some women.
To
join us on
I feel we might have to bring on Sapphire.
Sapphire is actually CJ. Sapphire.
Yeah. I saw Joanna on there. Mrs. Olatunji.
You have a number of women.
Yeah. So we will look into that further. So this is where we wrap things up. We say goodbye until Friday evening. We'll be back here from 7 p.m. for more Talk Heavy. All right. So we want to thank each and every one of you who would have joined us on Facebook and on YouTube. Of course, the show would be on both platforms for you to go back and look. If there's anybody who would be joining later on and you're viewing, you're enjoying the conversation, remember you can still feel free to leave your comments and interact with us. Give us your point of views, right? And let us know that you're commenting after the live, right? Just leave a emoji or something. Leave a star emoji, yeah? So we know you're interacting with us and you can keep up to date with what's going on. Right, so this has been the Talk Heavy podcast right here on Mended Studios. Remember, Mended Studios will be live Friday morning from 3 a.m. with Nautical Hour, the call for that, and of course Talk Heavy on Friday. All right, so we want to leave you right now with the sounds of the man Nathaniel celebrating this week 10 years in ministry. So he did a updated version to an old school song, right? So hope you enjoy that music. So look forward to you all on Friday. Have a great evening. Great night.
Now March 4th, 2022 actually makes it 10 years since the release of my first ever gospel recording. And I went to a little something like this. So many time and I struggle and I troubles and I'm trotting on, I'm stumbling along my way. Feeling lonely a journey, feel like it's only me and no one else is there. See everybody is a friend in all the good times, till I see them again in all the bad times, nah. But most of you never leave my side, you're always right there. It feels like I'm sinking about to drown beneath these waves. Just when I think all hope is gonna hear you say to me, my child, where is your faith? Do not be afraid. You say peace be still, and the winds and seas obey. In the midst of the trials and the storms, when it feels like I can't go on, oh Lord, you keep by. Lord, you keep by. Oh yes. So when I'm lost, I can't find my way, you guide me. Always there beside me, Jaja, you keep her. Now when you all are singing with me, just repeat after me, let's go. Lord, you keep her. Lord, you keep her. Lord, you keep her. Yeah. Lord, you keep her. Lord, you keep her. Lord, you keep her. Lord, you keep her.